Hello again, I am Davo and this is True Guitar Stories, and I started this YouTube channel because sometimes the journey a guitar takes can be just as interesting as the music it makes. I'm here today in Donkey Studio with Alex Radeff.
Radeff.
Thank you for being on here and having your story here, and we've not met each other a couple times, but
Through the years?
yeah, but
Here?
never had the pleasure of playing together, but
No, but hopefully we will.
we've exchanged music though.
Yes, we
Anyways.
have, yes.
I have two questions for you. The first question is, why did you start playing guitar?
Well, not to make it a long story, but my brother's 6 years older than I, we were totally into classical music and we were very good in school and so forth. But my brother had discipline problems, so my father sent him into the militia. And what my brother picked up in the militia was basically, just came back with some Beatle records, and we were both very good in school and academic, but once we got the Beatle records in, we settled with getting 60s or 70s. That was good enough, and we just got completely involved in playing music all the time and it being the main thing in our lives.
When did you get your first guitar?
Christmas of '71.
Okay.
My mother and father bought a guitar for both of us, one guitar for both of us, out of Sears, a cheapo one.
So what, you fret and he strummed, or?
No, not quite, not quite. Although maybe that would have been better. But yeah, my parents always regretted that decision to get us a guitar, because after that, we just became, originals, or we didn't really.
You fought over it?
We didn't fight over it, but we just didn't do anything else. We just played that guitar night and day,
Yeah, I get it.
And at first, the strings were high, the action, it was unplayable. So we went to a store, and we saw the other guitars, and the strings were lowered. So then once we filed down that nut, after a year and a half of having the guitar, then we started learning, because the thing was unplayable before.
Right.
So that's how we got started. And I mean, we love those guys so much, all those rock and rollers from the 70s and all that great music. I guess I thought, well, I love these guys so much, if I played good, then I'd love myself as much as I love these guys.
Cool.
But that didn't happen. So,
Cool.
yeah. So that was basically it.
That's what it is? Okay, then get to the meat of the story here. What is your guitar story? What guitar do you have? Yeah? You can pick it up and...
The guitar I have here is a Washburn guitar from the mid-'80s. A friend of mine who was a producer, his name was Jay Blair, had a lot of problems running a studio and the music business in general, like everybody does. So one day he was really pissed off and said he was going to get out of the music business, and he insisted that I take this guitar. I didn't really want to take it because I figured he'd change his mind and want it back and all that, but he insisted and insisted, and then I finally took the guitar. And then some misunderstanding happened a couple of years later, and he accused me of taking the guitar and stealing it. But I reminded him of when he gave it to me and under what circumstances, and he remembered. So
that's good.
And since he gave me that, which would be about 1999. This is like the main guitar. I've played a 335 Gibson, mostly live and in the studio through all those years. But this is the guitar I wrote the most songs on.
This is your go-to guitar. This is your songwriting guitar. That's
absolutely.
Cool. Before we get into the playing there, I'm a guitar geek, so I would like to, would you mind if I had a look at
Not
it?
at all.
It's go over some of the features of it. Solid spruce top. That looks like bird's eye maple on the top, on the back and sides. That's beautiful. There's nice binding all around it. Looks like a rosewood. Mahogany neck and rosewood fingerboard.
I'm impressed. I didn't know all that, so I just play.
I'm a guitar geek, so I could be wrong on some of the things here. You bought it off of him. It was obviously used. Do you have any idea?
I didn't buy it off him. He gave it to me.
Okay, so sorry.
He would have acquired it probably around 85, 86.
Okay.
New. Yeah, and at that time, it was considered a very good guitar. I mean, sometimes I wonder, depending on the amplification, if it doesn't have a bit of a coded tone that's not a natural guitar tone. But,
right.
By and large, it plays through okay. And, I've done, probably 300 gigs with this guitar in the past, since I would have gotten it. All kinds of nursing home and senior citizens gigs where you're doing more of you know,
Yeah.
sing-along kind of stuff as opposed to rock.
I have a question about the pickup. Did it come with a pickup?
It came with a
Okay.
pickup.
All right.
I've thought of converting it and having other pickups on it, and I've also thought of filling it up and converting it completely to an electric, because I just love this neck.
Sorry, my opinion, that bird's eye maple, don't touch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, at least what I would do is you get the measurements. I mean, I can do a three-string bar on the thumb here, you know, and still have the other one up. So, you know, it's very low action because the strings are so old. I think the strings are probably at least 10 years old. These strings.
Yeah.
So
people swear by old strings.
yeah, I kind of do as well. I mean, but it's very low action, so you have to be very gentle, and it's a very soft touch. So I'm just using basically the skin of the fingertips to play it, but it's very soft touch, because if you hit it too hard, it'll start rattling. So you really have to, you know, have a soft touch with it, which means you have to have a fair bit of amplified volume to be able to play in that soft touch. You know?
Kind of like the oval sound hole.
Yeah.
And of course the
Cutaway? Cutaway?
Florentine cutaway, I think it's called. And I believe the rounded one is a Venetian. So, anyways.
Yeah, it's a comfortable. You know, it's not that thick.
Yeah, I noticed it's very narrow.
It's very comfortable, and you know, I mean, you can get up here even with the cutaway. So you know, up there.
Cool. Well, why don't you play something for us?
I mean, I approach it a bit like a piano, which is why I'm calling this the piano guitar thing. The simplest of piano being, you know, a root note, and then like a 3-note voicing over top of it, you know, essentially, which you could see that being done on a piano as well, you know. But, you know, as you can tell, like, even barring chords of this nature comes fairly easy on it. But it's the kind of guitar where you sit down and play it, you know, as opposed to an electric guitar where you sit down and play it and you notice that the action is very low, and then you start flying all over the place with it. Whereas with this one you don't, and you don't bend the strings much. Your focus is basically on the voicings that you're doing, you know, and basically for composing, you know, you compose. I've also experimented recently with you know, different tunings, and you know, it just, you know, what you're used to doing gets a different result harmonically. So that's something I enjoy as well. But
Are you in standard right now, or?
I'm in standard right now.
Yeah.
and so forth.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So,
Anything else that you want to share about this guitar? And
well, once again, I
you
would
traveled with it?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. In a soft shell case.
Yeah.
It's worked out. I don't find it very fragile. I think it's a fairly sturdy
Fairly
guitar.
robust.
Yeah.
It has quite a few knocks on the
Yeah.
top here, and it looks quite robust.
Yeah. It's been played a lot. It's like my main guitar. It's been played a lot. And like I said, I wouldn't mind having an identical one that
Right.
would be electric.
Yeah.
But once again, the neck and the way it's set up, it's really not conducive to.
Shredding or noodling.
Yeah. It's more
Yeah.
chords.
It was beautiful. You played that. There was a sequence there that you played with descending notes against a root. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that's things learned from, and once again it's 3 notes, so it's the same as a piano arpeggio. I approach it. It's next best thing to playing a piano, and and doing solo performances. You can keep a bit of a low end happening on the.
Yeah. It does. It has maybe almost a jazzy guitar tone to it. You could use it in that circumstance. Well, if you keep playing, then I'm going to wrap this up. Okay? So, thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Dave.
For sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
This is True Guitar Stories. Like the videos, don't like the videos, subscribe to my channel, don't subscribe to my channel. But I thank you for watching. I am Davo, and another True Guitar Stories episode is done. Thank you.